Hi, hello. Welcome to another episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is May 22nd, 2022. How are you? Let's see, we're at the end of the week. Or like I said, the start of the week, depending on how you look at it, right? Yeah. So far it's been good. For me, I'm doing this podcast early, in the morning. Fingers crossed nothing crazy happens. Um, I don't know. I know I'm saying that, but I'm saying that just because it's like something crazy will happen, and I'm like, oh man, I could have talked about that today. That would have been like some breaking news. Um, I don't know if that makes me the ranch or not. I don't know. I have a content brain. I'm sorry. Um, let's see. Food corner. I went to Penn Station. Penn Station. Penn Station's so good. Um, like everything's like really expensive, but I never mind when the food's in my face. You know what I mean? When I get the fries, when I get the sub, I'm like, let's go, let's go. And the cookie is always good. I'm even paying for the overpriced lemonade. I'm about it. I'm simping for Penn Station. So yeah, that was the meal. Let's see, we can just get into it, yeah. Um, I got this one from Yahoo News / the AP. U.S. soccer equalizes pay in milestone with women and men. This was a really interesting story to me. And also it harkens back to like a little bit of an older conversation I was having on Facebook with some friends and just like randoms, where it was about the WNBA. So it was like women's basketball. And I think I had shared a meme about like just the wage gap or something. And a lot of people just had a lot of shit to say. And I personally felt away. I really didn't like chime in, other than this like liking or not liking, whatever. But like, it was weird to see some people's comments. Like, people would be like, "Oh, well, you see, it's about money, like it's about the money that the men's basketball games are bringing in as opposed to the women. So therefore, that's why they don't get paid." Um, like, it's just weird shit like that that just to me was cringy because I'm like, it should just be based off of the sport and it should be a linear thing in my opinion. Like, why is there a difference? Sorry, I did a little pregame and I'm trying to get this burp in or out. I don't know. It's weird that people feel like that there needs to be a gap. It almost is like that's inferred by those statements. I've heard people say that it's actually genetic ability difference and that's why, which I think is laughable. I believe I think it was the FIFA Association, like president, like former president. They retired after they said this shit. But and then they apologized, which was, hey, that's good growth, right? Or at least saving face. But essentially trying to like pull the bullshit of like, oh well, I'm a man, or as like men perform better, they're physically better, they're stronger, faster, and this is an athletic thing, so they're just better at these things. It's just facts, sweetie. Like, that's ridiculous. That's insane to me. Especially when you look at the women's soccer team, they've just been performing better. They're just out there doing it and they're winning. And I think honestly, it took kind of their performance, and their actions on and off the field to like really fight for their rights, to really make this happen. Let's see. I believe they won the Women's World Cup, championship in 2019. And a cool moment, it's like on audio, like as the win, everyone's celebrating, and you hear people saying equal pay, equal pay. And it sounds like USA at first. Like, so you're thinking, oh yeah, everyone's saying USA, USA, like everyone's rah-rahing. But it's people saying equal pay, equal pay. And I was like, that's fucking cool. Because that means that these people are really following. They really understand what's happening. And they're seeing right before their eyes, like, these women are doing great. They're crushing it. And in comparison, we're the men. You know what I mean? And the pay gap is insane to the point where, like, I I heard this on the Journal. They do a whole episode on it and they give up like a lot more stats. But it's like it's $1 million difference. Like, whereas like the payout for the average woman is like hundreds of thousands. Like, it just doesn't equal out, and it should. There's no reason why it shouldn't, in my opinion. Sorry, I'm just kind of giving you a little bit of a summarization here. I don't feel like getting into the numbers. But, excuse me, it is definitely a really big milestone because it took a lot to make it happen. It took not just the women fighting for it, it also took the men on the other side saying, yeah, no, we agree. Like, in the situation with the World Cup in 2023, essentially the money has to be pooled and then redistributed. I guess just because the way that it's set up, they're like, hey, like, we are fine with you doing this, but like not necessarily everyone else is gonna, like, it's not like a unilateral thing. Like, the prize payouts are structured, I guess, a certain way, but they agreed to be like, hey, we will just give you a grand pool of money and then you would split that money up respectively. So I'm like, that's really cool. So good to see that people are getting more money, getting paid what they're really worth. Especially when it comes to athletics. I mean, you're putting your body on the line. Like, there shouldn't be a discrepancy. Like I mentioned at the top of this, like women's basketball, like the amount of pay difference is ridiculous to the point that, you know, a lot of the top performing women basketball players have to not just compete in, you know, our league in the USA, they also have to go abroad to make more money, to make the money that they're more, like, that's closer to their worth. They shouldn't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like, especially when they're performing and doing well. And just, that's how it should be, right? Like, you should just be paid by your performance, period, not by comparison. But I don't know. Call me crazy. The next article we got, also from Yahoo News / The Washington Post. What is monkeypox? The rare virus now confirmed in the U.S. and Europe. I don't know why they put a question mark. It is confirmed. Like, so, yeah. That's a, I love little, like, clickbaity style ones, but it's weird when they just don't fully commit. Like, a question mark's not enough. You really gotta hit them up. But yeah, the first case was found Wednesday in Massachusetts, at least for here. You know, first time in a long time. It says in this article somewhere. But let's see. I think it was initially, though, in terms of like going way back, like history of it. The disease cropped up in 1958 among monkeys kept for research, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. More than a decade before a human case was identified in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So I guess essentially, like, it's named after monkeys, like it's monkeypox, because that was, like they said, the monkeys they were researching on, I should say, sorry. So it's not necessarily like all monkeys, like, I guess that's like a misconception. Let's see, mass vaccination against smallpox presumably curbed monkeypox infections for a time among humans. Researchers wrote in a 2005 article. But cases resurged, thanks in part to a lack of immunity in later generations, they say. More than 450 cases have been reported in Nigeria since 2017. And that is according to the CDC. Some of the symptoms are like, it's like flu, but then you also get swelling in the lymph nodes. And then this is kind of gross, but fluid-filled blisters or pox spread across your skin. They're pretty big. Does not seem really great. There is like 1 in 10 people can get infected with the Congo Basin strain, which is like the one that can kill you. But then the West African strain appeared to be fatal 1 in 100. So that's like the more mild one, which I believe is the one that is known in like the UK. The one that's here have been those. Also, the article kind of makes a point to say like, hey, like, of course you guys are going to be like immediately thinking this is like pandemic level, but like this is still way more rare. Even if this is like a newer thing, like it would still be a slower moving thing, like in terms of its evolution. So that's good, you know. Hopefully this is just a blip on the radar, like, you know, like these things usually are. But man, yeah, I would hate to have to quarantine over some fucking monkeypox. Also, I cannot, you cannot fuck up my summer with some monkeypox, bro. That can't happen. If I have to podcast with monkeypox, I'm not gonna be happy, alright? I'm saying it right now. I'm knocking on some wood. Yo, no. Get that out of my universe. Let's see. There's some more here. A lot of yada 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 history stuff. I know we love it, but this is a long article and I got more shit to talk about. So we'll move on. Got the next one from NPR. Pharma bro Martin Shkreli has been released from prison. So, our guy Martin Shkreli, if you don't know, if you haven't been, you know, with the pod, listening to the shit, or just need a quick refresher, they call him the Pharma bro for a reason. Essentially, like, there was this medication for, like, HIV, AIDS. He, I guess, like, funded it or whatever. Or he's a pharmaceutical executive known for raising the price of a life-saving drug 5,000%. NPR says way better than I do. So, I mean, really slimy, really sleazy. It was like essentially a $13.50 drug, and he made it like $750. I think the more gross thing, though, yeah, okay, it does say what it says here. It was Daraprim, an antiparasitic medication commonly used by AIDS patients and others with suppressed immune systems. But I think the gross thing is the price is still set above $700. Like, they didn't just take it down after they arrested Martin Shkreli and he served all this time and yada 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 bullshit. They made a show of it. Like, yeah, we dealt justice, and it's like, no, real justice is taking the price back down, like, so people can afford this medicine because they need it. But you know, ain't that America? Whatever. He's in a halfway house. He's chilling. He said some bullshit. Where's the fucking quote? You slimy motherfucker. I can't find it. That makes me sad. Here it is. I found it. Jesus Christ. Getting out of real prison is easier than getting out of Twitter prison. Oh my god. What a fuck. Like, I knew I heard that and I'm like, oh, it's so Shkreli. It's so him. That's great. I'm just glad this motherfucker lost the Wu-Tang album. I'm glad that's in a better place now. I'm glad he had to pay up some money, and I'm glad he went to jail. Like I said, it doesn't change anything. Obviously, America fucking sucks, and they love people like this, even though they're gonna sit there and say, "Oh, don't do it." But you know, justice for all. Whatever. Next one I got is from AP News, Associated Press. U.S. lawmakers urge binding vote on Puerto Rico status. So this is something that popped up on my radar. Thought it was pretty interesting. Obviously, I'm not equipped to talk about it. Just giving that pretext. I mean, that's pretty much everything here. But it's I've always kind of found Puerto Rico a little bit interesting, just because it's like it's a state to us, but not a state. It's our territory that doesn't that we don't own, but like is a part of us. Like, so. I didn't know, I still don't know much of the history about it, and I don't have, really, I guess, a ton of thoughts, but apparently there is a draft proposal that was unveiled at an online news conference that would commit Congress to accepting Puerto Rico into the United States if voters on the island approve it. But it also goes on to say that even if the plan were to pass the Democratic-led House, the proposal appears to have little chance in the Senate, where Republicans have long opposed statehood. So we all know how that goes. We've covered that before. Yeah, they have enough juice by the number, but we all know that there's just not enough people, especially when we look at some of our Democrats trying to mansion. There's just no shot. It's just probably not going to go through. So this is kind of a dead letter anyway, but just interesting to kind of talk about. I guess essentially the way this bill is worded, it would make it so that it would have to go up to decision. You couldn't just say, oh, okay, we're just going to stay a territory or whatever. We're going to actually get our independence or become a state, like a Hawaii, So essentially, it does kind of seem that on the ground, the people who would be voting for the Puerto Ricans, it's kind of not too much turnout really has come out in the past in terms of what people have thought about it. But there are some people who are for it. There's some people who aren't. I found out there's I think one of the representatives. Yeah. The bill has the support of Jennifer Gonzalez, Puerto Rico's congressional representative, and a Republican who has limited voting powers. So I don't know why I was surprised that the representative would be Republican. It kind of was oh, okay. But overall, I mean, I'm not surprised that Republicans don't want this because they don't want a potential area that they feel is more likely to be liberal, and they don't need to change it. So why change it? Let's just leave it as it is. There are some people who are this is undemocratic. Yeah, let's see. The main opposition, Popular Democratic Party, which supports the status quo, rejected the proposed plebiscite because it does not include Puerto Rico's current political status. This project excludes those who think differently, said party president Jose Luis Dalmau, who is also president of Puerto Rico's Senate and vowed to fight the proposal. This is a lack of respect. So, I mean, I personally don't know. I kind of don't know, what my stake should be on this. It's definitely above my pay grade. But I just thought it was interesting to talk about, put it on the radar. Like I said, I kind of don't think this even is going to get too much traction past the House. But, we'll see. In other news, we got to talk about, I guess it's my favorite person. I don't know. Maybe I just gotta come out and say it. Maybe I just gotta come out and be real. I keep talking about this motherfucker, and maybe I like him. I don't know. No, I don't. I really don't fucking like Elon Musk. Like I said, I feel like my arcing with Elon Musk was the average person. I heard some of the things. I was seeing Tesla everywhere, in terms of the car, and I was like, okay, I mean, all right, doesn't seem like a bad guy. Seems like he's doing some cool stuff. You hear some of his little inspirational whatevers. You're okay, he seems okay. But once I started hearing details about Elon Musk, I just got really confused because I was this is a stupid guy. He's not smart. He's not smart. He just has a lot of money. And cool that you have a lot of money. That doesn't make you innovative. It just doesn't make you intelligent. And next thing you know, you just see him doing more and more shit because he has more and more money. And people are more and more just keep saying he's so brilliant, he's so good, he's like Thomas Edison, which is not a compliment. And if it is a compliment to you, then you really got to look up both people. But man, so here we are with another Elon Musk moment. I got this from the Insider. A SpaceX flight attendant said Elon Musk exposed himself and propositioned her for sex. Documents show. The company paid $250,000 for her silence. So to me, this is more about SpaceX, but at the same time, obviously, it's about Elon Musk being a weird fucking creep. But it's weird because SpaceX really encourages the behavior, it seems, and what is alleged here. It's a very also kind of, in my opinion, complicated story from a legal perspective. I mean, obviously, I'm not a lawyer or whatever, but I kind of feel like it's not going to be really easy to go after this in any kind of like legal way in terms of like lawsuits or like actual like criminal procedure because of like non-disclosure agreements that Elon Musk was able to get this flight attendant to allegedly sign. And I say allegedly a lot here because of the fact that like this is a friend of the flight attendant that is talked about in this story. I guess the situation where like both of them haven't, like, their names and stuff hasn't been revealed. But the flight attendant, and we'll get into a little bit of like the quick, like what happened, but the event was told from the flight attendant to the friend, and the flight attendant signed a non-disclosure agreement. So she got a payout. She's not supposed to talk about it, not allowed to talk about it. But the friend who knows about the situation said, fuck it, I'm talking about it. I'm saying something. This is wrong. I don't feel good about this. I'm speaking out. And is encouraging more people to speak out. So, I mean, it's tricky. It's tricky because there's no names, like, and Elon Musk, of course, on Twitter has, like, preemptively tried to get ahead of it. He was, like, saying, like, oh, I'm not voting Democrat anymore. I'm voting Republican. And now that I'm voting Republican, expect, like, people to, like, come for me. Like, just saying a bunch of dumb shit. But essentially, here's what happened. This flight attendant, gets to work at SpaceX. They do like jets. They do a bunch of like aeronautics stuff, yada, yada, yada. So she's working on a corporate jet. Now, and they say corporate jet. To me, this sounds like a private jet situation that this business gets to have. I mean, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen the specs of it. But it does kind of feel like a PJ situation. So I imagine, like, you're in the situation, you're a part of the crew, all this yada yada cool stuff. But essentially, the SpaceX superiors tells this flight attendant, hey, Musk wants massages. He likes massages. So you need to get this masseuse training on your own dime. You have to pay for it. And you can give him you got to give him massages and, be cool. Do what he likes, yada yada. Attend to him. So I guess she takes these classes, and she then goes and let's see. We'll just go into, I guess, what she accuses him of. She accused Musk of exposing his erect penis to her, rubbing her leg without consent, and offering to buy her a horse in exchange for an erotic massage, according to interviews and documents obtained by the Insider. So I'm not gonna lie, it does give me Epstein vibes, like a little bit. I mean, obviously this is an adult situation, but it's the I have power, I have money, I have influence. So like, just do what I want. Like, just do it. Like, and she says like no to that, and essentially more or less she starts feeling like, okay, after that, like that trip to London, that flight to London where it happens, I'm getting like iced out. I'm not getting as much like shift time. And so I guess she gets a lawyer, and then once she gets a lawyer, they file a complaint with, like, I guess HR. HR immediately gets in on the situation, and they start talking settlements that actually Elon Musk like attended to. So to me, that kind of shows like how it was serious and was like important. I mean, obviously this is alleged. This is all from the friend, but it's definitely, if this all goes down that way, and then also this article from the Insider goes on to say that later that year, or even like months after, there was like a banning of NDAs. So it's really kind of fucking convenient that he swoops in and says, hey, whoa, we'll just pay you $250,000 to just sweep this under the rug and we're cool, right? And we'll call it a severance. So, I mean, now Elon Musk, like He says, let's say, after Insider contacted Musk for comment, he emailed to ask for more time to respond and said there's a lot more to the story. He's also said some things on Twitter, like in reference that the woman should like describe his penis or his bruises or scars. I don't know, man. It was really cringe. This dude is one of the weirdest 50-year-olds on the internet. I'm not gonna lie, dude. He's fucking odd, dude. It's definitely hella divorced dad. I don't know. SpaceX really didn't come back for any comments. I don't know. It's juicy shit. I feel like I've talked about it enough, and I would like to move on now. So we're gonna wrap it up with the wrap. There you go. That's convenient. And it's a little bit of an update on the Dave Chappelle attack, which I didn't really think I was going to have an update like this, but the plot does thicken for the person who tackled him, which was Isaiah Lee, who got in the altercation with him. We're going to have our classic schmer break, and we'll get to it. Ooh, yeah. And we're back, Jack. But yes, I got this from the Wrap. Dave Chappelle attacker charged with attempted murder for stabbing attack on his roommate. Let's see here. So, let's see. There's a little bit of a sub-line here. The publicity generated by the attack on Mr. Chappelle helped police solve this crime. LA County District Attorney George Gascon says. So, allegedly, there was a situation with Isaiah Lee and I guess his former roommate in a transitional housing facility. He's pled not guilty. But I guess, like the headline says, the situation with Dave Chappelle really put him on a spotlight, and they said, oh, there he is. That's that guy. Let's finish this fourths out. I don't know. I mean, really not a ton here, but just thought it was like an interesting update, and I did want to talk about it to say we did it. You could say that's kind of a flat end to the episode, but I'll take it. I would like to, though, thank you for personally staying in. Oh, I guess there was the thing I did want to add to the Dave Chappelle thing. He did do a surprise appearance on Josh Mulaney's like set. It was like no cameras, no phones. But people like after immediately like tweeted about it, talked about it. And they were like, oh, you know, I guess it was cool to see like a John Mulaney show, and then Dave Chappelle comes and says a bunch of like trans jokes, and then like hugs up John Mulaney, and then that's my night. Okay. And then obviously people who are totally cool with it, they're like, hey, it was a cool show, like blah blah blah. Sorry you didn't like it. So obviously Dave is still being Dave. The situation with Isaiah Lee, I guess, is like I said, a thing that thickens. But yeah. So I wanted to talk about it, wanted to cover it. As always, I got to shill to you. I got to try to get some money, keep this thing going, keep this thing flowing. Patreon.com/Isaiah News. Every dollar helps. $5 gets you dick sword. Not dick sword. It doesn't get you a dick sword. I wish I could give you a dick sword, but I can't. It's not an option on Patreon. But I do have Discord access for $5. And you also get a shout out. I'll say your name on the podcast. I'll talk about whatever you'd like for a quick bit. So yeah, that's an option. IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. That's the free way to get a hold of me. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a great week. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. Love ya. Bye. Bye-bye. Mwah.